My name is Teresa Lockwood. I reside in Vineland, New Jersey, and I'm actually going to record just a little section um, of a false pastor about these false claims about sorcery in the Bible. So, there are these people, those of the cult of the fraudulent Pentecostals, who basically are the main ones that I have heard going around claiming that sorcery is drug addiction. So this um, pastor's actually persecuting me for years, and he continues to make up all these lies and put his own false definition on things. And he has actually have said also that sorcery is drug addiction, and now he's just claiming it to be addiction. They're playing on words, by the way. They're trying to basically claim and trying to mark anything of me. No, I do not abuse drugs. I don't do any street drugs or anything. The only thing I do is take a leave for pain. I will not even take a prescription, by the way. Um, so because they're too strong and I don't like the way it makes me feel. So that would be like what is considered as high or nauseated. So they actually make me sick, so I won't even take them if they're prescribed to me. So, and I mean, I have, I think, like 2 or 3 times when the pain was like beyond, um, you know, uh, bearable, when I basically had taken probably a leave, like 3 a leave, and then like, a few hours later taking 3 a leave, and you know, so I will sit there and just take one or whatever to give me whatever I had to get it for. But yeah, that's like the least thing that I will take. I don't like the way they make me feel. I don't like the way, ugh. Anyway, this is the thing. So I'm going to record this real quick of this false claim that sorcery means addiction now. So they mainly claim it's drug addiction. So I'm actually going to talk about that. What I'm actually going to talk about is what sorcery is, and I'm actually going to talk about addiction also. I have basically given much enlightenment on addiction, because the government and society are trying to play on the word addiction. Addiction, by the way, is actually natural, written in our DNA. The problem is when somebody has a false knowledge, okay, and what their addiction is addicted to something that is bad for you, like drugs or whatever, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the thing is that everybody has an addiction to something, and addiction is actually part of our survival. So, but I'm not going to start out with the details on that. Um, the thing is that is yes, it can be confirmed by science, and that is my original work, by the way, as I've actually refuted drug abusers throughout the years, even those who are trying to justify like things like marijuana, and things like that, and claiming, oh yes, healing medicine and all these other things or whatever, yada yada yada. So, okay, in relation to sorcery, I would have to say that drugs can be used as in connection to sorcery, okay? But drugs abuse or whatever, and all these things is not sorcery, okay? So the thing is that excuse me. Yeah, no, I don't, I never abused drugs in my life. So, the thing is that, I'm, I'm going to record him first. Okay. The thing is, I don't know if it's going to come up. I am on somebody else's laptop. So, and the, camcorder is very, very bad. As you can see, you can probably see it flickering in and out. And I had actually viewed where I actually tried to record somebody and what they said, and it did not come out on video. So some did. So what? Oh, excuse me. Every time I get on video, I have an eye itch. Excuse me. Ugh. So I don't know why that happens. But anyway. So yeah. Okay, there was a sound outside. So, I'm actually going to record this real quick. So he basically he's listing through, Galatians 5, which is actually against, a lot of it against him. So, pretending, he's like, not of flesh. Now, he's manipulating. He's a Bible abuser, by the way. But, I'm just going to record this, let me just record this real quick.
Sorcery, which is actually pharmakia or addictions, if you will.
That's actually not true whatsoever. I'm actually, you know what? He's just there, just pharmakia. Oh my gosh! And say he uses pharmakia. You know what? Okay. Yeah. It's coming from basically pharmaceutical or drugs, so he doesn't mention it, and he twists the manipulation on words. Okay. Okay, so it's basically saying medicine. So he plays on words. So he sits there and says, sorcery is pharmakia, meaning addiction. First of all, sorcery, pharmakia, and addiction are all different words and whole complete different meanings. No relation to each other. Okay. So the thing is yeah, that's actually absolutely not true. Let's see. You know what? Okay, so we are actually going to look up sorcery etymology. Okay. And see what it says. Regardless is to be defined. Okay, origin, sorcery, okay. This says, this is dating from 1300. So, witchcraft, magic, enchantment, act of instance of sorcery, supernatural state of affairs, seemingly magical works. So, sorcery, sorcerer, wizard, from medieval Latin, soterius, teller of fortunes by lot, sorcerer, literally one who influences fate or fortune, from Latin. Okay. So, yeah, you can look that up. Of course, these people have actually made up. I hope I don't cut this off. All right. So, it's very interesting because I actually encountered somebody actually tried to silence me again. It was like actually an atheist who basically slandered me, same way as a Pentecostal does or whatever. But there was this atheist who was continuously tries to bury me with their lies or whatever, and I was watching a discussion of them with other people claiming to be why is my video just went dark? That's strange. Trying to see if a light bulb blew or something. Anyway, it just got darker in here. All right, so the thing is they made a statement and they said, all right, okay, and they said, and of course they didn't believe in God or whatever, and they were having a discussion. He's always trying to refute all these things against like false Christians. See, he attacked me because I was basically, well, proving him wrong, giving him knowledge, kindly giving him knowledge and insight. that he didn't really want. He just wants to argue with people who don't have the knowledge of issues and just like go on these triads of, just like this drama or whatever. So they made a statement, and it was very interesting because they said, well, magic isn't real. I can't remember what the response was. And I actually replied and I said, actually, magic is the manipulation, okay, using to deceive people of a power that uses actually real things that exist, okay, giving an illusion to deceive or manipulate their viewers or whatever, okay. So I don't think I use the word, give or take a word. I don't think I use the word viewers, but give or take a word. So those are the basics. And no, I never like touched anything dealing with any kind of sorcery or anything like that. No, I never did like, a Ouija board thing or, like seances or what have you. I actually just believed it was stupid. Nobody can convince me something as stupid as, that, they can like either call on ghosts or ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts, by the way. And, all these things and contact, how do I say this? They're false ideas, if you will, of, I'm not going to get into that, but you get the picture of what revolves around that or whatever. And, yeah, okay, anyway, let me move on from that. So, yeah, I actually, look, I've encountered people from these churches who have come up with all kinds of things. And because I was actually even distressed one time, I've actually had somebody ask me if I played with Ouija boards as a kid, as they called me a demon. Yes, for crying and being distressed. In a trauma, grieving. So that was like, look, okay, okay, all right, let me just go to the basics of sorcery. Yeah, no, I never messed with anything like that, never touched anything like that or whatever. I don't believe any of those things and what they do can give any power. They sit there and draw these, like, pentagrams or whatever. Put their candles in circles. I mean, we've seen pictures and things like that and scenes or whatever, and movies or documentaries or whatever the case may be. So the thing is, I've actually had a dialogue with people with that, and I was just like, the only thing that it can actually do is just keep people ignorant. It has no power. But yeah, it can affect somebody because in the act of basically believing in something that you can like draw like some kind of symbol on the floor, and it has some kind of like, effective power to, call on like the power of Satan. And I just want to let you know their false idea about Satan, well, it's actually false. um, so, but really, Satan is basically the self-rebellion against reality, what is true, what is right. Okay. To sum it up, yeah, of course, that which is against God. So the thing is, dealing with all these people who have all these false ideas about sorcery, I just want to say that actually it's a lot of these churches, especially among the Pentecostals, who actually practice sorcery. Now, the guy who I just recorded that from, who basically tries to create these false illusions, by the way, is sorcery. By the way, I just want to let you know that. Taking a natural order of things, and trying to manipulate somebody's mind or deceive them or trying to mess with their head, okay, using lies and deceptions or whatever to influence the people of something, to create this illusion of a power of something that is false, is sorcery. So I'm going to go back to basically that in regards to actually one of my persecutors who basically actually practices sorcery, which they basically claim that they have this power to actually, as if you will, demonize pagans, and they consider pagans anybody that disagrees with them. And they have all these delusional false ideas, by the way. That would be like a Ramoth Church in Vineland, and they're cults. So the thing is, that's where the one who basically asked me if I've ever like played with a Ouija board because I was grieving and in pain and suffering and extremely just upset or whatever. Obviously, they weren't very comforting. But the thing is because they asked me, by the way, about because I basically taught things that were just simply biblical, and I only said about like 2 or 3 things, like explaining like what Satan is, just like I just did, like Satan is the self-rebellious soul or whatever. And I made a statement when they sat there and asked me. They said, "Well, how do you know so much about Satan?" Now, I never even talked to this person before. Just want you to know that. So they often went around making up things about people, like there was something seriously wrong with their mind. So they still do, making up people's thoughts, and I get that a lot from church people. It can be very damaging, by the way, though. It's very, very disturbing. And I've actually encountered a lot of that even online in like debate groups or dialogue or whatever, where they would sit there and make up your thoughts, and it's just like, and bully you. And that was from mainly church people. And then, of course, some atheists and other people. And I have to respond, and I'm just like, and you just made up my thoughts. Like, seriously? So they're trying to bully me. I'm just like, okay, well, didn't you just like create this delusion that has no relation to what I just said? And okay, well, I'm gonna go on from there. Anyway, so yeah. So anybody who basically abuses to manipulate their seers, as though they have some kind of like special gift or wisdom. I'm not saying people don't have special gift of wisdom. There's a lot of people blessed by special gift of the wisdom of God or whatever, that people need to sanctify, by the way. That means like center and focus, and purify and keep clean away from basically um, false ways, of false knowledge that can hinder your gift or whatever, like these churches, for example. Yeah, so I have looked up online and I have come across, I haven't read them or anything on it, but I have come across like terms in regards to like witchcraft, like terms like witchcraft behind the pulpits. I can't, there's another like term, I can't, it's not like, it was sorcery behind the pulpits. It was like, I can't, I don't recall, but you get the gist of it. So the thing is that, like I said, I haven't read it. I haven't read anything on it. So I wouldn't doubt that they would come to some conclusions. They're not going to have some of the knowledge that I'm giving. I know that for a fact. But there's a recognition that there's something happening. I actually wound up, excuse me, being psychologically tortured and abused in this cult. And and it's sorcery. Like, they deliberately, like, they gaslight, okay? That is sorcery. They gaslight, mess with your head, um, give these illusions of things, if you oppose them, like I said, it's called demonizing pagans. After I mentioned that, they try to basically circulate these false ideas about demonizing and all these other things or whatever. And what it actually comes down to is basically, if there was a church society, a abusive cult society, they would consider anybody outside as pagans, okay, outside of their cult, okay, which of course is not a factual true statement. Um, but the thing is what they would do is that they would do this thing where they basically gaslight and basically psychological torment people. And the people of this cult would, they'd be like circulated throughout the community and things like that or whatever. And it's a psychological abuse, torment to whoever they basically, how do I say this? Well, whoever they're shunning or whatever, because they won't accept their, well, delusional false ways, their sorcery, if you will. So anyway, in regards to, actually, the cult actually just spoke about, in regards to, people will recall on the scene with, or the situation in regards to biblical recordings of, Moses actually going against the sorcerers. Okay, I'm actually I'm gonna open that up. Hold on. So I did have it open yesterday, but I don't think I do. So I'm gonna. So the thing is, Moses basically um, used the power. Well, how should I say? I'm sorry. God used Moses to hold on. Um, mm, I'm gonna open it up in. All right, I'm sorry. I'm gonna open up in the Mm, mm-hmm. Please don't crash on me now. Okay. Need something to drink and need some water. Okay. Mm. I need to get something to drink. Hold on a second. All right. All right. Hold on. What? Are you serious? My cat just put her head on my hand, just like resting it and sitting it there. What? What's the matter? Oops. What's the matter? Oh. Oh, really? You're stepping on my hair. She wants attention. So, What are you doing? Alright, I'm petting you. Alright. What's the matter? No? You don't want to headbutt me? Alright. So, my hair's frizzy. It's like all over the place. So, she like stands on my leg here, and she'll just stand there. I know. You want some attention. Ooh, my hair's like all wrapped around you. Hmm. What's the matter? What's the matter? You want lay on my arm? Okay. I can't do this one-handed. Really? She has this thing. I'm moving, little kitty. Alright. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, she has this thing where she wants me to put my... Look, she'll like have me pet her, and then she'll like curl up where it kind of like moves my arm around her. She's looking at me a dirty look. Alright. And then she'll like lay on my arm. Like she wants to lay on my hand. So I gotta pet her. Anyway. Alright, where was I at? Now I feel like okay. Alright. Okay. Okay, oh, I hope I don't cut this out because I have done that before. I'm just trying not to. Okay. Alright, okay, okay. Come on. Why is everything like dragging? Excuse me. So slowly. Alright, I'm just gonna open the whole chapter. Alright. No, tell me it isn't. Um, okay. Okay. Hold on, let me see. Okay. So, yeah, you can find this in, um, uh, Exodus chapter 7. I don't think I have to go to the other parts where, um, So this is in chapter 7. And it says, but Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, okay? So the magicians of the Egypt, they also like manner with their enchantments, okay? So for every man threw down his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods, and Pharaoh's heart grew hard, and he did not heed them as the Lord had said. So there's other sorcery, um, um, magic, if you will. Okay. Okay. I'm actually going to, I shouldn't do that right now, but I don't know. Because I'm actually going to make a meme out of it. So, yeah. So, all right. So let me go to more because I don't want this too long, but I'm going to say this. Um, so there will be people, like, especially from the Pentecostal cults. They're not Christians, by the way, and as you heard, well, I don't know if it's recorded properly, but this was Calvary Chapel, Frank Appolito, chaplain in the Vineland, New Jersey Police Department. Yes, corrupt, false doctrines. He is echoing the false doctrines of the Pentecostals, yeah, who basically are persecuting me. So, excuse me. But you will see in a lot of these cults, um, where they, like, the false healings and stuff like that. I just want to say, their illusions and their deceptions of these false healings is sorcery. Okay, giving an illusion of this power, um, and things like that, when it's just like deception and manipulation. So that would be sorcery. I'm not against healing. I believe in healing. Okay. Of course, healing in the Bible has particular demonstration and purpose for that particular healing. Excuse me. And as you see in, like, these cults and things like that with these false healings, they are very um deceptively, like, just bizarre and way out there, and they put on this circus performance that is just unbelievable to entertain people, and wow people, and things like that, and they only can deceive. It's really unfortunate, but they can only deceive basically those who either have their heart in the wrong place, or people who are just naive and vulnerable. Okay, and maybe sometimes desperate, where they, I mean, people, respond in desperation for many reasons, but sometimes people will be misled in their desperation to do things or respond to things, as well, for many different reasons. So I'm just gonna I'm not focused on that, but you get where I'm going with that. So you know, I mean, I think everybody's experienced some desperation to basically, to go do something or try something. I'm not sitting there talking about particularly about that desperation is basically that of, like, going to, uh like, sorcerers and fortune tellers and all these other things or whatever. You don't have to have a desperation to sit there and be led to false things. That's basically same as, like, a desperation where you're desperately trying to, like, I don't know, save somebody from drowning, but that desperation or whatever, but and you try to use a means of basically trying to, like, pull them out or whatever, you can do to save that person's life or whatever the case may be. But the thing is, when people sit there with different circumstances and misled by false ideas that basically pulls them into a direction of, well, I mean, you can use your own experiences what that is, but there's a lot of misleading with false ideas that people are desperate, even people misled and ignorant and don't know any better, and those maybe desperate is like grieving or something. So in their grief they falsely like have these false ideas or whatever, like that would go to like a medium or something like that or whatever. So they're going to be false, by the way. And witchcraft and mediums and stuff like that, very related to sorcery, because they're using the same deception and manipulation or whatever, claiming to have some special power, and it's going to be just an abuse of just things that are they use around them, or the manipulation of people on people's minds and things like that or whatever. So another thing I just want to throw in here, though, I just want to let you know, I'm not against entertainment, magic tricks and things like that. Okay. Some people, they do it for entertainment, and they're not claiming to have like some special power or some power over, you know, um, a people to deceive people, and they present it as like, it's like this, um, an illusion of like art or whatever, where, they, card tricks or whatever. I'm not going to sit there and say that that is, um, evil. Okay. I mean, I watched these magic shows, and they're basically presenting it as just who could present like the best, you know, um, like art of, and I sit there and say manipulation is not like in a bad way where there's a manipulation. I just actually talked about that on video about manipulation. There's like deceptive manipulation, and there's like manipulation of turning into like a ball of clay into like a vase or something like that or whatever. But if people present it as an art, and then there's people who present it as to say they have this, power, this special, um, gifts, rather, they claim it is whatever they claim is from, that's not basically used for entertainment or whatever. So there's a lot of people who basically are in, basically, that, can you, please, I'm doing a video, you're doing that on purpose. So, the thing is, I'm almost done. So the thing is like there's a lot of people like in these churches, especially these Pentecostal churches, who are actually using these deceptive, like fortune tellers, if you will, as their false prophets. The false prophets in these churches, and I've actually just spoke against them, and made a meme of it. Basically, I mean, there's a lot of people going around claiming they have this prophetic word about the election and all these other things, and they're trying to basically, it's almost like a gambling chance or something like that, or whatever, or whatever, to claim and to present to people like they have this power from God or whatever. God's not predicting any election, by the way. Okay. So sorcery, there's distinctions between sorcery, witchcraft, and fortune telling, but they are all related in the same deceptive manipulation. And mediums, by the way. I think there's mention a basically claim of who was it? Samuel, I think it was. Uh, I can't remember who it was connected to, but they called on a medium to I guess conjure their spirit, if you will. And the thing is that they presented like this illusion or what have you, but they did not do it. They just presented this like thing or whatever that was actually not them, but it was deception. It was, just manipulating them. So the thing is, what the problem is with sorcery, why it's an abomination against God. First of all, it presents and presents basically misleading away from that of what is of God, and actually leans on deception. Okay, it's a lie. That's exactly what it is. It's a lie. It gives an illusion. Okay, and so, and like I said, there could be like they use things that's in their environment. Okay, so they basically just like rearrange or create illusions or whatever. Like it's a lie to the people, and it's basically claiming a power that basically is actually opposed to God. So it corrupts the minds. It actually, even practicing to lie and deceive like that would corrupt their own minds. So this is why I actually encourage people. Like, I mean, I've told a lot of people. I've even told police officers. I told ministers or whatever. I say, you lie, you're corrupting your own mind. I do not lie for nothing. Okay. It's stupid. It's stupidity. It is like evil. It basically, it murders reality. It murders truth. It basically just, like I said, it distorts reality. So the thing is that, yeah, these churches basically, like I said, in, that of mainly like these false faith healers are not of faith, not healing. Faith is only in holy truth, by the way. It's not deception, and they want to sit there and present this power, and they're predators on those of desperation and lostness or whatever, and it's all about like it's against the power of God and believing in the power of God, and basically using God's name in vain to deceive the people. So, like I said, sorcery. Now, okay, now in relation to drugs, I believe that um, I do not believe sorcery is basically the use of drugs, but drugs can be used in sorcery, even basically, even deceptively, maybe to basically drug people up or whatever the case may be, or things like, drugs that were used to basically, claim that gives you some so-called like spiritual experience or, um, um, and like this, uh, and it's not. It's just well, just causing brain damage. Okay. Sort of like LSD, or okay, like there's people who basically there's actually a group who of people who basically claim that peyote is basically like the part of their they use in vain, falsely claiming it's their religion, like all these other false um, cults basically call their false practices a religion. They're not religion. So the thing is how do I say this? I believe some of it is like, maybe believed. Some people don't care. I mean, there's I mean, people have used it like in such hallucinogens much in military. You can't deny that. Like a lot of people know about that. Um um so it's used for different reasons, experimentations, whatever the case may be. But when people go to um like I said, people could abuse drugs. To sit there and claim that sorcery is drug addiction is a false claim. Okay? Yes, drugs can be used as a part of sorcery. So, like I said, but that's not what sorcery is, and that does not have to how do I say this? Um, be included in the practice of sorcery. So the thing is that yeah, it is a very uneducated, ignorant claim. I think it's very important to know about what sorcery is. Okay, because the thing is, like I said, it is an abomination, and yes, it's pagan. And like I said, like these false healings, these false illusions of like the spirit of God, that is not of God, claiming it, is this power, this, supernatural, if you will, a power that they falsely claim is supernatural. It is not. But that they usually call their pagan ways supernatural. No, it's just a perversion of what is natural. So yeah, I'm actually going to end with that, and I'm going to work on the meme for that. And yeah, oh yeah, I wanted to do this thing. I do want to talk more on basically addiction. I just want to let you know. I'm just going to end with that because I'm going to talk more on it. I was actually attacked because there's a lot of blind, ignorant people who basically were attacking me, and told I'm not allowed to make a complaint. By the way, yeah, against the crimes and they're committing against me. Um, and basically, I was actually enlightening people about addiction because there's a lot of play on government or whatever to try to claim that addiction is how do I say this? A mental illness, if you will, and targeting like the drug addicted societies. And of course, I try to enlighten people, even our local county prosecutor's office, and basically enlighten them with, yes, insightful, original knowledge. And I don't think it's unknown that addiction is. I don't think people has it rightly identified. Okay, is what it is. But the thing is that addiction is natural, but people, because of false ideas, okay, are addicted to wrong things. Okay, and I'm actually going to leave off with that. Um, and do another part. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm ending with that.